Cool. We seem to be live here. Let's make sure we're live on the YouTube. Yep, we're live on the YouTube. All right, cool. Man, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good morning. All depends on where you're located, man. Welcome to another episode of USFL Owners Box. Let me get the bar up at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything's official. It's your host, man, Mark Gates, man. Only PS4 CFM live talk show that I know of. That's around, man. We talk everything about the league, everything Madden, man. Been an interesting season so far, man. I want to call this episode, what's this, episode 16? Knocking these things out. I like to call this episode, I like to think of it as the coin flip, man. And what I mean by that, you know, the play of words is last year, like myself, Seahawks, who else? Couple AFC teams find themselves, you know, I found myself at 2-3, Boone at 3-2. But then teams like the Titans are 4-0. The Eagles, who said he was going to be 16-0, he's now 5-0. It's interesting to see that, man. The teams who are not, or who weren't winning last season, are definitely taking this league, not the league, but taking this season more serious, really focused, locked in, trying to win games. Definitely been dope to see that. Again, I found myself at 2-3, battling between the current stock book that I've been using for the last 3 seasons versus doing something new this season. And then, you know, debating on getting it, fine-tuning it right and things like that. Unfortunately, the first 5 games probably should have been the games I tried that on. But hey, you live and you learn. It's a lesson learned for myself. A lot of football left. We'll still continue and move forward with that. I know that the Jets won an impressive win over the Seahawks, which was cool. Green Bay just took a sim loss to the Lions. We'll see how that kind of unfolds later on in the season. He's currently 4-1. Boondog beating the Redskins was like, I think that was the upset of the season so far. Aside from Joe winning his whatever games, you know, the Bills owner, Moondog beating the Redskins, man, nobody would have thought that would have happened. Shout out to Moondog for taking that win. That's definitely a good win for you. Hopefully you can take that win and build off of that. Use that to motivate the team and move forward. However you played in that game, I suggest you replicate that formula moving forward and continue to play like that. Again, Titans are 4-0. Said he was going to try to do better in the 9-7 last season. He's actually 4-0. He plays the Jacksonville Jags for 4-1. I heard through, you know, some owners that Cleveland had like a self-destruction type of game plan when they played the Jacksonville. I don't know if he was up that game and then lost it towards the end or whatever, but Browns on, if you're watching, man, if you were up and man, you didn't win, man, you gotta keep that foot on the gas pedal, execute all the way through, man, all the way through the fourth quarter, especially with somebody with user ability like Jags, you know, a Chiefs, a Raiders, a Jets, things like that. Be definitely good to see how the Titans and Jacksonville, when they score off that, I think that's the game of the week this week. I think that's really a really good competition. Things like that. Shout out to the Eagles owner for going 5-0. I know you said you wanted to do 16-0. Even though you're brand new on 5-0 in the NFC, to me it's cool. I think the schedule gets a little bit harder in the season, so we'll see how far you can go. But at least for this first quarter of the season, with much respect from me to go 5-0. We'll see how you play against the Redskins and then the other divisional opponents. Panthers are winning my division. I think he's like 3-2. Ronnie, if you're watching, man, you know 3-2. That's not enough to keep, you know, win your division. If you're gonna win it, you gotta win these games. You know, the more games you lose, the more opportunity I feel like I have to win it. So, just me being 2-3, I got to bye this week, and then I play the Vikings. So, We'll probably prep for that game. Creasy looks good. He's 4-1. I haven't seen nothing on him yet as far as the game. I haven't looked at his stats and things like that. But I know his user ability is pretty solid, so I'm going to just treat it like such and treat him as the record that he is and how the player that I know that he once was. I'll still make sure he's that same player and treat him as such. Hopefully Andrew Luck can stop missing throws. I also want to talk about that, man. How are these top-notch quarterbacks missing these throws, man? It's mind-boggling to me. You know, Andrew Luck has a 95 awareness. He has everything souped up, and he's still missing throws. So I don't know, you know, if I could ask the commissioners or whatever, the admin, did you guys change the XP sliders or something? I mean, these guys are missing terrible throws. I've been seeing Russell Wilson missing wide-open throws. A-Rod missing wide-open throws. You know, just want to know if that's, you know, that was an option. Have the sliders been adjusted? I'm not saying they have. I'm just curious to see if, you know, what's the, you know, if they have. It's just mind-boggling to me. You know, and it could be just programmed in. So this was a quick question. Shout out to the Patriots. He wrote a cool little post about his team. I think he's down like 2-3 himself. He got no Brady, so I know that's the question everybody has. Can he win without Brady? Is it, you know, is that real? Currently, it's looking like it's not. I know you also took a sim loss, so it's hard to say. Even yet, still strong. You gotta get it together, man. I was along with myself. You know, I'm currently 2-3. I need to put myself on the list. I told you guys after my last game against Green Bay, put myself on the list, man. He broke that run for the half, and I ran commit, and that was a setup for me. It was a setup for him to run the ball because I knew if I came out in quarter 3 deep, that four receiver one running that package, he would throw it. If I came in anything less than 8, he was going to take a deep shot. But if I came out in that quarter 3 deep, he would audible down to an inside zone, and I did that. And I blitzed the guys, and I ran commit, and yet he still broke the tackle. That's just Madden. I call that cheesy Madden. And then on the play where he had the cover 2 bomb, I was actually making an adjustment. Stop that when he did that, but however he hiked the ball before I can make the adjustment. So had he not got them 2 big plays, I probably would have won that game 21-14. So shout out to him. That was definitely a good win for him. Again, I'm up on him more times in this man than he was on me, so you know, I'm not worried about that. And we'll see how it turns out in the playoffs. So not taking anything away from him. He played solid. Even Ty called me. He had to talk about that game. I think we'll probably discuss that even more in detail on Saturday. I know the Seahawks lost their running back, Thomas Rawls, so whoever has them coming up, look for Russell to pass more. I know you got the young guys back there, but it's not the same with Thomas Rawls. So when we come to this game, I'll definitely yell out that as a key to victory for whoever Seahawks play. Let me see what else we have here. Let me talk about, while I can, let's talk about the power rankings, man. Let me give you an update on these good old power rankings. Currently, we have the Jets at 1, Green Bay at 2, Titans at 3, Raiders 4, Eagles at 5, Vikings at 6, Redskins 7, Jacksonville 8, San Fran 9, and Chiefs at 10. I think that's pretty cool, man. It's, you know, 4 seasons in. The last 3 seasons have been almost pretty much the same teams at the top 10. Even excluding, you know, a couple teams new this year. Again, myself and Boone are not there. But even still, it's good to see just a different mix of top 10 teams. Teams, you know what I'm saying, actually winning more games. You know, last season was a real AFC dominant where they had the better records and NFC was kind of scraping it, trying to get it together. And this year it seems like it's down the other side of the coin, which, you know, hence coin flip, where we have a lot of guys, you know, 5-0, 4-1, 3-2, 4-1, 4-1. They have, you know, the Steelers at 2-3. Ironically, winning the division at 2-3. And then, you know, Ravens, if you guys are watching, that division seems to still be open. Cleveland, Bengals, you guys are just maybe 1 or 2 games behind. Could definitely turn that thing around. Chiefs 3-1, Oakland 3-2, Broncos 3-2, and the Chargers, you know, 2-3. I know, you know, had he not taken that sin, he could be also 3-2. That's definitely a division to watch out for. Jets seem to pretty much have his division on lock currently so far, especially with the Pats going at 2-3. He's currently 5-0. You guys have to attack. the Jets early as far as wins, or he'll just run away with the division. He'll go on cruise control. So Strong, Buffalo, I know you got 2 wins. See if you guys can try to put some more W's on the board. Dolph, I don't know what's going on with you, man. You know, I know you got some big losses and some big, 50-plus point losses. But them losses they're past, man. You got to move forward and let them things go and let them be in the past. And, you can still turn your season around. You're only four games. You know what I'm saying? Only 4 losses. Eagles at 5-0. Redskins 4-1. Tied 2-2. And Moondog 1-4. The Redskins losing was, crazy upset, but that's just one game. Eagles, if you watch and understand, he's not going to continue to lose. So you have to do what you said you were going to do, go 16-0. Even, if you're going to go 16-0, it's cool too, but you said 16-0, so we're going to hold you to that. But until then, continue to win games, tie, and turn it around the Giants. He's 2-2. I know he's more focused this season. We talked again on the phone the other day, so I know he's looking to make some things happen. We got San Fran at 3-1, Seahawks 3-2, Cards at 2-3, and the Rams at 1-3. Champ 2-3. I don't know what Champ. The only issue with Champ and the Cardinals is I never know what version of him is going to show up. Is it going to be the guy who wants to play? Is it going to be the guy who wants to throw deep balls? So for him in the division, I don't know how his rest of the season will pan out. I know Boone is consistently looking at players, signing players, cutting players, upgrading players. Me and him talking, he's trying to perfect his playbook. Asking how certain things work, how to stop certain things. Me and him are always consistently chatting, especially with both of us being not in our normal 5-0s or, dominant force that we have been these last couple of seasons. We're both continually working on it. But shout out to the 49ers for going 3-1 so far. Still using that deep ball. Of course, that's in the bloodline. That's Wop's little brother. So that's how they're going to play the season and dominate with the deep ball. Until somebody stops it, I don't mind them continuing to do that. So we'll see how the NFC West turns out. Then we got NFC North. We got Green Bay, Minnesota, Bears, and then the Lions. Ooh, Lions, man. I went 4. You were on 4, and I know the Saints were on 4. I don't even know if the Saints actually got their official win. You know what I'm saying? Or that's the sim win. You guys, man, I know you guys really wanted to improve last year, and it seems like you guys are starting out real rough. Rougher than you did last season. So, you guys are for sure on the get it together list, especially you, Detroit, man. You, Dolphins, Saints, Colts, Bengals. You guys, man, Saints, Ravens, and Saints and Ravens, man, you guys don't get no pass. Ravens, you could have went to the playoffs last year, and Saints, you went to the playoffs here last year. You guys don't get no pass. Like, I don't get a pass. I'm 2-3. Lost to the Bucks, which was shocking to myself still. We played good, but it's still shocking to myself. But definitely, you all need to tighten up. And it seems like and focus and less on the chat and trash talk and really start winning some more games. Tennessee 4-0, Jacksonville 4-1, Texans 2-2. Tennessee seems like he wants the division this year. Jacksonville seems like you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to hit him with a little bit more finesse, things like that. Seems like the Chargers are having some issues with Melvin Gordon here. I know Franco just put a post up. I don't know if he's getting hurt or whatever, but Franco, I know Melvin Gordon was a key thing to your offense last year. You just lost some games early on. I figure, stick to the formula that's been working. And Melvin Gordon had got you all the wins last year. I don't see why he shouldn't be able to get you all these wins this year. I'll continue to, still pound with and ground with him and then run the offense through him. Even if you found a solid replacement, Melvin Gordon's just been more consistent, in my opinion, from an outside looking in. Talk about, man, I guess the user tip for this episode, or the tip of this episode, I spoke to Boone about it. He even asked me, speaking about that. I'll give out 2 of them. The first one is ID in the mic, how good that actually is. I use it all the time, man. All the time, especially for a guy like Green Bay and Cletus who send these consistent cover 2, what I like to call YouTube blitzes. Nothing wrong with that if that's where they got him from. But I see him. I see what I see the play. I understand the setup. I know where it comes from. Which is like nothing wrong with that because most guys get a lot of their plays and blitzes or whatever from YouTube. That's just when I see them certain ones that are like so popular. I just call them YouTube blitzes. So no disrespect or nothing like that to them guys who run it, whoever runs it. But ID and the mic is so important to be able to first identify who the blitzer is, and what side he's coming from. Myself, I always try to max protect. I always try to block the running back, or always try to have that extra protection just so that I don't get sacked a lot. Unfortunately, I lost my center, and the impact of my center has such an impact on my offensive line, man. It's crazy. For those who don't know, I think I might have spoken on a previous episode, but the center is the most valuable piece on the offensive line this year. EA has said it, they programmed it in. And the higher that your awareness of your center is, the better your offensive line is as a whole. So me knowing that my center is out, I got a young guy that he has 80 awareness. And my other lineman, one of them had like 92. I'll probably move him to center this week and see how that affects my offensive line. Hopefully I can pick up some more of these blitzes. And then upgrade my running backs blocking ability, especially when he can't block, or even maybe substituting a fullback when I know it's past plays where I'm actually going to block the running back. And then again with the ID and the mic, those who don't know, you hit the L1 button, you see a M come over the person's name. That's usually telling the defensive line pick him or watch him because he's probably the guy most likely blitzing. However, you can use the directional pad or the analog stick to move that M over that person when you feel as though it's blitzing, and you can slide protect that way. So it actually holds that player, makes the offensive line slide or whatever, but then tells the guard or the tackle to also watch him. It usually helps him block to the second level. When a running plays, man, it works very well. I use it all the time when I run the ball. I know I think Boone uses it too, man, when he runs the ball. So say, like, for example, you run the draw play, things like that. That middle linebacker who supposedly sticking the running back, ID the mic on him, let's max protect towards him or pinch the line towards him. The lineman always pick him up as the first one. So go into practice mode, try that. If you can perfect that, man, I'm telling you, you can perfect when the ID the mic, how to, where the blitzes are coming from, things like that. Guys will never be able to sack you, and your offensive line will definitely show some improvements. That's the first tip I want to give out. The second tip I'll probably give out. Think about, do I want to get this out? I'll probably get it out. It doesn't matter. Boone always asks me, how do I get the guys deep? How do I get guys open so deep? And to answer that, it all depends. It all depends on the cover. So I have to first, let's just say, a cover 3. How do I beat cover 3 and stuff over the top? Ty talks about me in the post route and using the post and things like that all the time. So you have to understand how the post works, where to put a post in and on the field, and then the difference between a post and a smart route post. So for example, let's just say I take a play. Let's just say any play. Let's just say strong close, right? Strong close. They have a play in their PAD cross, right? You pick that play as a post with the receiver on the left side. You take that post and you also smart route it. Post goes smaller, it goes shorter. When you do that and the post goes up 10 yards and he goes to the sideline or whatever, he runs in front of free safety versus if you leave it by default, that post then tries to go behind the free safety. The issue is in a cover 3 and also a cover 4, those defense are designed to never let nobody go behind you. However, they are designed to allow somebody to go in front of. So as a free safety, let's say from the free safety's perspective, in a cover 3 and a cover 4, I'm not allowed to let anybody go behind me. However, in front of me is cool as long as I check that area of the field. But as the free safety, I'm only allowed to stick 1/3 or 1/4 of that field. So knowing that, when I use these post routes and things like that, I smart route it. If I see a cover 3, I smart route the post. And then I know that I usually place the the slot or whatever, the guy next to him, let's say even in this PAD cross, running back next to the receiver that's square, put him on a fade. The fade then drives the cornerback on the left side of the field out, holds that free safety in the middle, because now he has to check two sides of the field. He can't cover all 3/3. He has to play one. If you put that slot in that fade, slot damn near runs to the right side of him, side of him. He can't really dart over to the left to check the post once it gets in front of him and then out of his third of the field, if that makes sense. So boom, you watching, that's how that's the basics on how I get these guys open so deep in the field. So I understand how these posts work versus, the coverage and things like that. In a post, again, sometimes I can put a post on the far left of the field, but if I motion that post and then bring him into closer towards the line of scrimmage, he now doesn't have to run as far across the free safety. He's already in the middle of the field, and he's already in the third, and then he runs to that other third. So definitely go to practice, man. Take some of that tip, and then understand what other adjustments can help move the safeties, bring the linemen down, and things like that, man. And you'll just see that the field gets so much open. It gets so open deeper down the field, and as the play develops. The only downside is, me and Ty talked about, is that you just have to have the time for these plays to develop. You take these deep shots and things like that. It's no different than when I do an out route. I see a lot of guys are doing the out routes and things like that. I guess a bonus tip, some ways consistently always get the out route open. If you have let's say two receivers on the same side of the field, you put the slot on the fade, and then the receiver next to that slot on a smart route or out route. Again, maybe the out route game is open every time. And that's because, again, how defenses work. The difference between the cloud flat and the hard flat and the purple and then the seam flat. Let's just say cloud flats, purple, seam flats, they all vertical hooks. They all have to back up first, all the time, every time. So the slot drives everybody back, and then allows the smart route out. They both drive, both of those routes are designed to drive players back. All the zones by default, unless they're in a hard flat, are designed to back up. The first steps are initial backup. So when you do that, smart route out on the same side as the slot fade, open every time. Now, there are ways to adjust it and stop it. However, I'm not giving them tips out. You guys gotta work, man. You gotta put the work in. I did the work, sat in practice, run them 100 times, figured it all out. Boom, that tip was exclusively, you asked for it, how I get the guys open. I told Ty I always get the out route open. That's how I always get the out route open. So hopefully you guys, use them in tips and things like that. So I just want to put that out there. Also in the power rankings, man, I'm ranked 27. Man, I was talking about get it together. I'm for sure need to get it together. To be ranked 27, it's hilarious to me, but it's all good. I'm always up for the challenge. So it's cool, man. I beat the Broncos. Got was feeling a certain type of way about me picking the ball off and throwing the pass at the end. So let him tell I need to work on my sportsmanship, and that's fine. I'll do that. Not a problem. Definitely looking forward to the show on Saturday. Hopefully, I think I have a guest, but hopefully I gotta need to confirm with him, make sure he's still around, available. If not, man, the line is open. Anybody wants to do the show on Saturday. We jump into some of these picks for this week. Let's see who we got. Eagles and the Bears. I'm going with the Eagles. His record speaks for itself. Bears. Where I once thought you had Matt Ryan, he can really make some noise. You guys aren't doing as much. I have to look at your team and understand why you aren't winning as many games as I thought you should have been. But I'm gonna definitely go with the Eagles. Baltimore and Cleveland. I think Cleveland's been having a number of Baltimore, so I'm gonna go with Cleveland, even though he did self-destruct against Jacksonville. I know you're looking to upgrade, man, so we'll talk at the end of the season. We could definitely make some things happen in that department. You need what you want to upgrade to. But until then, it's 50-50. But just somehow Cleveland seems to always win that game. I'm gonna go with Cleveland, Oakland, and KC. KC, just got married, probably still living off that high from marriage, and ball and chain hasn't really kicked in on him yet. So I'm gonna go with Oakland. Even though Cleveland beat him already, Lightning might not strike twice this season for him. So I'm gonna go with Oakland in that game. Then we have Chargers in the Colts. Colts being 1-4. And even with whatever the Mel Gordon debacle is in LA, I don't seem like it's enough for them to beat you. So I'm gonna go with you. Denver and Miami. Doc, if you continue to play how you've been playing, more aggressive, more deep shots, more Robbie Anderson, I think you can win that game. Dolph, if you're listening, man, I just gave you the key to victory. I'll give you 2 of them, man. Focus on the run, and then lock the key in on Robbie Anderson. You should be fine. Doc, you just play your normal game. I don't see you losing it. And, even with them keys of victory, you still continue to play your game. I think you should win. San Fran and Giants, I think it's a really good game. It'll be a real good test for San Fran. Ty, keys to victory for you, man. He's his brother. Their play style is pretty much the same. I would approach however you approach Will, to approach him the same. Expect the deep ball, things like that. And then San Fran, his key players, focus on his key players, the Odell Beckham, to Darius Jackson. Make sure his quarterback is not comfortable standing back there. You should be fine with that. Jacksonville, Tennessee. Jacksonville, Fournette. Titans. That should, the run is his go-to, and you would make him adjust from there. If you look at the one loss he had, that should be, your blueprint. Jacksonville, you've already beaten them, last season. He's 4-0 this season. Whatever you've been doing previously or prior, it should be fine. Carolina and Green Bay. I'm gonna go Green Bay, but it'll be an impressive win if you could win. You can win, Psych Dog. If you can win, that'll be impressive. His running back is the key. Super jukes and all that. Happy feet. Slow the jukes down. Just watch the second half of my game with him and how I came back and things like that. Aside from the debacle towards the end, but you should be fine. I know you're gonna run the ball. Things like that. Cover 3. You can I heard he has a lot of trouble with cover 3. Always watch a post over the middle. So my keys of victory to you. New England and Buffalo, strong. You have no reason. You don't need no keys of victory. There should be no reason why you lose this game, other than you beat yourself. So I'm going with you. Seahawks and the Rams. I'm going with Boone. Even though it's a division game, the Rams play you tough. I don't see you reducing that. And Moondog and then Redskins. That'd be a miracle to have Moondog win again. I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't believe in miracles. I don't know. Maybe. Redskins. Ain't no way. Tampa Bay and the Saints. Well, I once would have said the Saints. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I don't know. Has the Saints won his first game? Was that a sim win? I don't know. He was hyped about going to the division. Winning the division, going to playoffs, and that, beating me. And now I don't know where he's at. So I might have to put him on the MIA box this season in my division. I might have to put an APB out on this guy. On the Saints on him. What's going on with you? I'm going with the Bucks. Houston and Cleveland. Houston and Cincinnati. I'm gonna go with the Texans. Stay behind Clowney and that defense. He'll be fine. Bengals does have some good user skill. For Bernard, I did notice that. But he can't do everything. So I'm gonna go with Texans and then Minnesota and Detroit. Minnesota's 4-1. Detroit, you don't have any wins. Maybe you can get a win this week. I know I'm not to say that to you're not trying and no effort. You're just late. That second half or that fourth quarter is killing you. So you have the potential to win the game. You know, just see if you can do it. But either way, I'm going with the Vikings. And like myself, I have a bye this week, so uh, you know, in a way it's good, and in a way it's not. I'd rather have it later in the week, later in the season. But I'll take the bye now. To go 2-3 before the bye, which means I have to win out or go flawless now for the rest of the season for my own personal, liking and benefit. So I think that's pretty much it, man. As far as stuff I kind of wanted to cover overall. Again, this is just a midweek recap. Let me check the notes. I know a couple guys are sending some things that they wanted me to discuss, and make sure I got them all real quick. Yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty much it. Everybody that I really wanted to touch on. So actually, who you guys feel consistently play the level that they're playing at, and who you think will potentially fall off? Just to see again, we're only in week 5 or week 6. Week 6. A lot of football left. The question is, can the Eagles consistently play at this level? And the Vikings, can they play at the level that they're playing at from the NFC side? Can Broncos in that division? You're at same record as the Raiders and the Chiefs, and as the Steelers win the division, with a losing record. Everybody in that division pretty much has a losing record, and is that enough to get into the playoffs? Can 8-8 get in the playoffs in that division? So again, there's a lot of football left, a lot of injuries. There's a lot of names, man, on the free agent list this year, and plotting on. I know the Jets have a guy, the receiver, Misi or something like that, Misi. He needs to be signed. Their D tackle Allen needs to be signed. Let me see who else. There's a couple guys here with some players need potentially sign, like DeAndre Washington from the Steelers. Deal if somebody can grab him if he doesn't get signed by the Steelers. I don't know how you guys are feeling or looking, but that players this free agency. Just know I might as well put out here now. Julio Jones is up for contract. Re-signing Julio, so hopefully he retires this year as a Falcon. If not, then it's business first. Still amazing, 99 everything, I think, except for like spread catch or something like that. But before the season's over, he'll have pretty much 99. I'll send him off right, all nerfed down and things like that. But I'll send him off right if he does decide to hit free agency. Man, that frees up about 20 million. So I'm looking to make some moves. Andrew Luck, I'm trying to get up out of here at the end of the season. So I'm taking all trades for him. I'm taking all trades for Coleman. I'm looking to just rebuild and revamp my team. I feel like I need something younger, something more fresh. Just something for myself. Staying. But aside from that, man, I'm looking to rebuild. I'm trying to incorporate Cletus. Was type of ownership this at the end of this season. Go young, and see if I can do some things. So, the Vikings are laughing at me saying that he's going to compete, even though the Lions are 0-4. No, he always competes, man. Look, watching his games, he just throws. He just has mistakes late, lose the game. So, don't sleep on him. Green Bay. But he lost that game in the end. So he's been working, man. He's been practicing. So I'm going to that game, Vikings, man, sleeping. Or you can, and then he comes out with the L. He comes out with the win, and just don't be surprised from that aspect. So just recap up, man. It was a quick show. To look forward to the show on Saturday. And see if I can give some new fresh meat up in here. Games, especially this being my bye week. Please take some tips into it's a consideration whether you do, you don't. I just answered it from my perspective, how I get guys deep open with using the post and ID in the mic, things like that. I'll probably give out on Saturday. I might even give out the top bomb play, like a one-play touchdown style play. I might give out one of those, man. Show you how to be cover 2 over the middle, even with the guy in the deep blue on a play. Trying to get everybody everything, and then I got to work for myself. So looking at, like, I see guys now running down the deep middle and chasing guys that they never did that before. But watching my games, I expect it. So good energy. I like where the season's going. 2-3. Me and Boone talk about it all the time. Like, just the reward is going to mean so much more when we get to the championship. So and talk playoffs, we're only in week 6. We're so beyond these early weeks. Even though we should kind of stay a little bit focused on them so we don't get none of these surprise losses like to the Bucks. He's still talking about the loss to the Giants. Will talks about, me and Will, I kind of, I haven't teased him, but I should tease him about the loss to the Cowboys, but that's just how it is, man. It's any given Sunday, anybody, any given time you can take a loss, one bad throw, one bad fumble, one bad tackle, one missed tackle in my case, cost me the game. So any given Sunday, every dog has a day. Again, it's great to see teams who haven't been winning finally winning, and even teams who've been top heavy. I just gotta say this, the league is so top heavy, and now like below 500 or at 500. That's why I like to call this episode, the coin flip. Basically watching the other side of the coin. I did send a shot to the 49ers and the Panthers. Like, yo, you guys are currently leading the division. We want our spots back. We're coming to take our spots back. So don't let up. Make sure every game that you guys win, every game that you treat like a playoff game. As soon as, Panthers, you fall 3-3 and I hit 3-3, we both at 0-0. Our records are 0-0, and I'm, looking at hitting our runner from this point forward. So let me just see how that plays out, man. Definitely want to see this Titans. It's the real deal. He's been playing soft opponents. Are the Pats as good as they once were? Was Brady really the key to their success? Cletus has damn near everybody on superstar. Is he the Yankees? You know what I'm saying? Is he the Yankees of the league? All talent, no trophies. I mean, Yankees did eventually get one. But he's a more, but they look good on paper and only on paper. Even myself, like, what I'm saying? I got a Super Bowl. Was that just a good year for me? You know what I'm saying? Was it a Cinderella year? Whatever. So just a lot of questions that need to be answered. Green Bay, continues to win, but he also doesn't have any chips. So, period. He never has any. He don't have any. So, in any mag. So, it'll be interesting to see, man. See what our co-hosts, how Ty plans out this year. Made the playoffs the year before last. Didn't make the playoffs last year. Got a new owner, Eagles, up in his division. Again, can he play at a consistent level? A lot of questions will be answered, man, this season. Again, it's very early on, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. And also, man, focus. I'm personally focused. I know some other guys I speak to in the DM are definitely personally focused. A lot of guys haven't really been practicing, practice. We still talking about practice. Unfortunately, yeah, we still talking about practice. Strong said he ain't jumped on in 5 days. He jumped on, lost in the CPU. crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not losing no CPU. I'm not even playing a CPU. I'm taking that for its win every time. Got time to play on the computer. Got time for that. But I do go into practice and run the schemes, things like that, man. Hopefully you guys took my user tip from the last episode, the last midweek recap episode. Hopefully been using that to your advantage. And that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and sign up out of here, man. I got like 20 minutes or 40 minutes if I go get the little ones from school. I'm gonna take that time to actually chill. I'm gonna actually jump on the station here shortly, man, and work on some things I'm trying to introduce this season. Definitely around playoff time. Found some interesting routes that I haven't seen nobody use, and some interesting books that nobody runs. I might even release. I'll probably release my top 5 stock books, man. I can do that right now. Let me give you my top 5 stock books on offense and defense. It's my personal 5. And the reason why they're my personal 5 is they're not the ones that you might expect to hear, especially YouTube. YouTube always said the Saints, the Patriots. What's another book? Falcons, Cardinals, and what's another popular book? What they say on offense. Oh, and the Steelers. Those are like the top 5 that are like buzzing around this man. However, they're not my top 5. My top 5 are the Bears, the Jets, the Rams, the Packers, and the Dolphins. I think my top 5 playbooks offensively. They're so under the radar. They specifically have unique things in them. And like say for example, the Dolphins book is so scheme based. It's all damn near 3-1-1, which makes it my top 5. If you have guys that want to look in the book and want to form a scheme around it, I think that the Dolphins playbook is the best one to start that concept or that mind concept, because everything's 3-1-1. So if I come out in something, I can audible, and especially you set your audibles up right. Even on the audibles on the fly, if you set them up right, you don't have to create a custom book. You could just come out one play at the beginning of every drive and audible down to something every time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a very great book just based on that. The Bears I use as my stock book of choices, this Madden. The Jets is a combination of the Bears. I think the Rams book is amazing. So those are my top 5 on offense. My top 5 on defense, I use the Colts. Ravens is still good. I'm more 3-4 based. So I'll give you my top 3. I'll give you my top 3 3-4 books. I'll give you Colts, Ravens, Texans. 4-3 books. I would probably go Bengals still. Patriots book, because they have a combination 4-3 and 3-4. You got to go with Patriots book if you want to mix it up. And I think Dallas book. I think Dallas still has that 4-6 bear that's the bear under, something that's unique. So, I'm a guy I'm a guy who always tries to come out on the field something that's not being ran, something that's not being seen. So you can't go on YouTube and try to stop it and things like that. So those are my top 3 defensive 3-4, 4-3. I know a lot of guys run the multiple defense. Multiple defensive book, or that West Coast offensive book. I don't like those personally. So I just want to put that out there, man. Again, great season so far. I'm gonna definitely check you boys out on Saturday. I think that's it, man. I'm gonna close my remarks, man. I'll see you boys again Saturday. Another great episode. Midweek recap. USFL, the owners box. Mark Gates, man. I'm signing off. Peace.